Yeah, I'll react to that. Sure. Part of hi. Okay. Try not to laugh. I already lost on the Graham Norton show, part 2. Primitive like. Let's go.
This will how Ridley Scott's involved. The expectation, the hopes for this will how Ridley Scott's involved. Harrison, you were involved, but presumably this isn't the first time.
Not just involved.
You're in it. You're in it. You're on the poster. Yeah. Okay, my question is this. So there must have been mentions of a sequel
Harrison
between...
Ford?
It was 1982, wasn't it, when it came out? So between then and now, so why now, why not before?
It's going to pause there.
Just because Ryan wasn't available.
Harrison Ford could, like, eat 10 babies. No, that's far. He would have to do, like, him, Tom Hanks, they're just so much of my growing up that, like, they could do no wrong. They always hold a place, like, with me, you know? That was a bit too far.
For many years, he wasn't available.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not for 30 years. But they were waiting for me to grow up. But they decided to have to go ahead anyway. No, they finally came up with a good with the story. I read it, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. And as I read it, I read about the character that Ryan?
It's Ryan.
Ryan. Came to play, and I said, and with great enthusiasm, I called up the producers, and I said, this is great. I can't wait to get blah, blah, blah. And what a great part. Why don't we see if we can get Ryan Gosling. Yeah. And they said, I don't know how to...
Gosling?
Gosling. Brian,
yes. Ryan, you got that on tape?
Ryan Gosling. And I said, why don't... This is a great part for Ryan Gosling. And they said, we've been talking to him for months. Now, wait a second. They'd only been talking to me for weeks.
So the last time she was promoting a film. She didn't know who she was playing in the film. It was finished. It was in the cinema.
Yeah, it was a long time after we'd filmed it.
You might have checked before you came on a chat show.
I don't know how honest she is about it. I have no idea. I don't know. Some people smile.
I don't know why they also, because contractually, no offence, but we were sort of asked to come and
all right, fine, thank you.
But I love you too.
Okay.
She doesn't mean that.
I don't mean that. I didn't. Oh God. You see why?
She doesn't want to be here, Linda.
That's not true. I love Graham, but I do wonder why they asked me to do it. I don't help, do I?
I assume thinking she's never been in one of my films.
Oh, she's good.
I like her.
Thank you very much. I like you.
So who did you meet at the Golden Globes?
How long you got, man? It's just like...
He's,
Did you meet these guys at the
from
Golden
that
Globes?
thing.
No. I met her before these awards, Governors Awards, and she was really cool when we just spoke about stuff. It was really nice. Yeah. And then, but no, I met Oprah.
Good story.
It was really nice. She was a nice person. It's cool. There's like
I couldn't believe he was English because his accent was so flawless in Get Out, and I was like, oh my God. And anytime I meet anyone who's English, I'm just immediately like, I love London. I miss it. Do you live there?
I feel like British people, I could be wrong, are better at mimicking the American accent than Americans are at mimicking the British one. Not to say that there aren't people, but I'm not sure. You guys would have to say that. But man, especially when singing, I've said this before, there are so many bands and musicians that I had no clue were British until they spoke, like, regularly. I find that fascinating, that when we, like, sing or something, it kind of congeals into one. Nah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you
I
talk about
do.
London. Yeah, yeah.
We talk about London.
We should talk about- yeah, talk about London. And then, no, I met. That's what happened, yeah. I met Denzel. I met Denzel and Oprah at the same time. It was just this segue. It was just this I don't know, like African American excellent segue or black I don't know what happened. It's like Denzel came up to me and was like, oh, he came to me in English accent. He was like, yeah, mate, yeah, cheers, mate, cheers, mate, cheers, mate. And I'm like,
Cheers, mate.
well, what's happening? How do you know who I am? And he was like, and then he went to his wife like, he thinks I don't know who he is. And then he goes, come meet Oprah. And then I was like, all right, cool, we'll meet Oprah, let's meet O. And then I just, yeah, I hugged her. I hugged her so tightly. She felt so good, man.
You guys ever learn about like the story of Oprah? It's pretty darn amazing. Really a self-made person.
Yeah, she felt good.
Apparently she smells really... She has an
She
amazing
smells
smell.
amazing, Graham.
He probably smells like $1 billion.
Oprah is just premium.
Can the rest of the crowd... you must have all met Oprah. Does she smell amazing?
I've never met Oprah, but when I do, I'm going to hug her for sure. At the Golden Globes, but she was too far away.
You got
Oh, look at her hair. That's pretty cool. Look at that. It's like a... Like, boom. Nice.
At the Golden Globes, but she was too far away.
You got to inhale deeply.
We're
Inhale
all
deeply.
sniffing near
Yeah, now I know why there was suddenly such a nice smell in the room.
Yeah. Like, no, she was really cool. It was really surreal.
Now, I hate to pick on Eddie.
Come on!
Eddie, you're kind of...
What did you say? That's that girl from those commercials.
Eddie, you're kind of... Would it be right to say your sexual awakening was a two-dimensional sexual awakening?
Oh, God.
He looks familiar, too.
No, it's true that I was once interviewed and I was asked, like, you know, who were your first crushes and...
He's in those stupid Harry Potter movies. I love Harry Potter. Huge fan. Read the books many times. Seen the movies many times. Love it. Yes. Pottermore. I am a Ravenclaw. But what the heck, excuse my French, are these new movies? Fantastical Beasts. That was a book. That was a textbook. What are you doing? Go like prequels or something like that. Why do you have to go into some...
No, it's true that I was once interviewed and I was asked, like, you know, who were your first crushes and I did...
Oh, I guess it is prequels, but like it's prequels around something... Why? Like, just don't include the...
I loved The Lion King when I was younger and I had a weird obsession with Nala.
I blame that on the animators, not him.
Look at her face, she's so sweet. She can sing really well.
That's wrong. That is so wrong.
It's wrong for the animators to draw her eyes like that.
And is it true you like Maid Marian as well?
Yes, that is true. She's a fox, though.
No, but I have that too.
Yeah, do you? Oh, that's... Oh.
What's that from?
No. But in Eddie's defense, they draw them really sexy.
Exactly, I agree. In his defense, true.
Well, did you like Robin Hood?
Robin Hood was quite sexy.
We've got Robin Hood. There he is. And that tunic is worn very low, I noticed. Yeah. He's packing.
It was my first attempt at stand-up comedy. And what happened was I'd always wanted to do stand-up comedy. I didn't have the guts to do it. I got very drunk. I had a go at doing it as a blue coat. My mate said to me, just copy all the other comedians at Pontins and steal their jokes and basically talk to the front row. So you're supposed to say, where are you from? They say Scotland. You say, who paid for your holiday? Where are you from? Wales. You make a noise like a sheep. Rubbish jokes, right? But I said, that's terrible. He said, don't worry, you're just padding. What you're doing is you're looking for comedy gold, which is, where are you from? They say Kent. And you say, what did you call me? Right? Now, at Pontins, this used to take the roof off, right? So I tried it, but I was very drunk. So I go on stage, and I say, where are you from? This bloke says Scotland. I can't remember the joke. I say hello. Then I said where are you from? The guy says, Wales. I black out and I go, hi. I panic. And then I say, anyone in from Kent? And this bloke shouts out, me. And I said, well, you're a
That's so good.
So I'm sent to Morton.
Imagine being in the audience. There were supposed to be like 4 jokes. He's just introducing himself.
I know people always end these things with, I swear to God, that's a true story. But that is verbatim how it works. It's still in fact, isn't it? It's still in my act, it really
Hello.
Hiya.
What's your name?
My name's Aileen.
Aileen?
Yep.
And I'm guessing you're from Ireland.
I am
Alien?
from Derry.
Oh, you're from Derry, up to the north of the country. Okay. And do you live there or here?
Study here. I live over there.
Oh, right. What are you studying?
Costume design. Costume interpretation.
Okay. There will be subtitles on Friday. I know right now only I can understand it. Yeah, but
Okay.
I know. Yeah,
I can't.
No. So far, you're
I
not
always
missing-
hated when people like ask me like, "Oh, what do you mean?" Because not because like obviously that's a good thing to ask, but me like I graduated with a history degree, but like when I graduated, I didn't feel like a historian, you know. And so when people would ask me, I'd be like, "Yeah," as if like that's supposed to be like my main thing, which I love history, and I've learned to love it even more since after getting the degree. And so it just didn't feel right. And so whenever I was like, "Yeah, history," but I wasn't like, "Oh, history," and could I tell you about? I feel like I'm going on.
anything.
I've never heard of costume interpretation.
Me either.
It's like costume design, isn't it?
Except fancier.
Fancy. It's fancier, Frank. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All the lever.
Okay. Off you go.
Right. So lead up to Christmas, I was back home. And how did you...
Exact face. Did you get any of it? Christmas.
Something about Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. That's the only good detail so far. Just pick out words, you'll follow the story. Say, blah, 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 Christmas, blah, 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 home.
I went into the shop and I had to get milk and bread.
Where is he from? No, him. Gilderoy Lockhart.
So I literally was really
My favorite character in the Chamber of Secrets.
So I was like, run out, get the groceries, let's go. Told my boyfriend to do a lap and just pick me up, no need to park the car. So as planned, I came out, you know, perfectly timing. Silver people carrier just casually drifts by, casual speed. So without hesitation, I sprint across with my groceries. Jump in the back of the car, screaming, and dump in the back of the chair, shouting, "Go, go, 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 go!"
For a second, I legitimately thought she was speaking another language. And then she wasn't.
But taking in mind it was Christmas and I had like a scarf up here and I thought, which was my boyfriend, turned out to be this middle-aged, like 60-year-old woman. Screaming, "Jesus!" and pushed her foot on the accelerator and then threw on the lamppost.
We found a selection
The one part I laugh is when no one's laughing. I felt so stupid.
of poor and sometimes... We found a selection of poor and sometimes, frankly, just essentially lazy translations into English on foreign menus. Oh, okay. Fantastic. So imagine we're all in a restaurant together. Yeah. And I turned to
Harry and Paul.
Menus. Oh, okay. Fantastic. So imagine we're all in a restaurant together. Yeah.
Love these guys.
And I turned to Stanley. I said, "What are you going to get?" And Stanley might reply, "Well, I'm going to get the sausage and the father-in-law." What could that possibly be?
I don't know, but the image
images it conjures up.
It must be some sort of toad in the hole, must it?
I got a European lawyer.
It's getting worse.
It must. This is I mean, really. I mean, I don't think anybody.
Specific relative, isn't it?
Yeah,
Father-in-law, you know.
And I don't think anyone wants this German-type sexual harassment. But I don't think you can go wrong with a nice place of hand-shredded ass meat.
Oh, dear.
Oh, everyone's favourite. Do you want some more? Just another handful. What do we have next?
What wine
Now, this
goes
is-
with that? Stanley, you know. What wine goes with that?
I also know there's never been a show where, like, I've watched and so many people who I recognize but don't know where I recognize them from.
I'm doing a wine pairing menu. Yeah. Oh, this is a special brunch for the weekend. I might have the fresh salad followed by a variety of opinions. I like that. It's lovely. I like it.
When you do Google Translate, okay? I love Google Translate, and apparently so do the people who make the menus. But always make sure to, when you Google Translate something, type it in, and then do the switch button where so say you want to do English to Spanish, right? You type in your English sentence, it translates it to Spanish, and then do the switch where it goes Spanish to English, and see if the Spanish translation goes right back into a English translation that makes sense. And then when it does, then you post it. Just contact me and they wouldn't have had these.
You could almost imagine that on a menu. Yeah.
Under a magic cost, though.
That's like Parliament. That's what they serve in Parliament.
But then sometimes people are just a bit lazy. So this one, there's bigger menu, there's some smoked cow feet, and then there's just cow something.
Fair.
I looked it up.
So a hot dog.
There wasn't there, just cow something. I don't know. It's just it's beef, innit? Just have it. But that person took a bit of trouble. This next person couldn't be bothered at all. Item number 2 on the menu. Whatever. It's food, innit? It's food.
I like that option. That's a good idea, legitimately. If someone... That is a good idea. $1 million restaurant idea I just got. Sometimes, like, you go out and you don't know what you want. Just get me whatever. I'm not saying a lot of people would order it, but it'd be kind of funny on the menu to just have like a, like tell the chef, I don't know, you pick. I don't know. The more I think about it, the less.
Have it. It's only your dinner. You'll eat again. It's whatever. We move on to dessert now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all have a bowl of nuts with scum.
Strawberries with scum.
What's nuts with scum? You can get strawberries with scum as well.
I bet you it was yogurt or something, and somehow it translated to scum.
And if you really want to push the boat out, why not have some chocolate puke?
Doesn't sound too bad.
Everything food would be this.
And finally, is there anyone who doesn't like sweet tight pussy?
All the way, Graham Norton, genius.
Finally, is there anyone
the way he says this,
who doesn't like sweet tight pussy? All the badly translated food. Is it true, and this seems unlikely, that you...
Frodo, again, he could go on a murder spree and kill 25 infant elephants, and I would still love him. He's just too important to me.
You own a single piece of every bit of memorabilia that they produced for Lord of the Rings?
Oh, well,
That's half true. So I've got a few things from the actual film. So I have the ring, I have Sting. I have a map from Bilbo's study or the living room in Bag End. And I just recently, because I went back.
If I was ever near him, I would act like Bilbo in that scary moment, like, ah, and he grabs it.
Back and did the final bit on The Hobbit. And they gave me the book that Bilbo writes in. He writes The Hobbit, there and back again, A Hobbit's Tale, and then I finish it as Lord of the Rings. They gave me that red volume, which is beautiful.
The actual prop?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And on my last day in Hobbiton, it was pretty magical. I know, it was amazing. But then
Hobbiton.
This is set. This is all right. It's a real. So listen, it's a real.
But yeah, it's in New Zealand, and it's. I have seen all the appendices. I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings nerd. Well, not. I don't want to say nerd because then I haven't even read the Silmarillion.
This is all right. It's a real. So listen, it's a real place. They've actually.
No, it's not.
Graham.
Dream.
Place. They've actually.
No, it's not.
Graham.
Dream. Don't you screw up his dream.
So
his feet are big too. Let him dream.
So they've actually built it. We built it for Lord of the Rings. We took all of the facades away, and then it's since been a tourist attraction. And now it's been rebuilt for The Hobbit, but with sustainable materials, with real wood, so it'll always be there.
Whoa.
So from now on, you'll actually get to see Hobbiton and visit it as a real place.
Imagine people like 800 years from now, like don't know about Lord of the Rings, and they go and excavate this site, and then they think a bunch of little people lived in New Zealand like 2,000 years ago.
Well, will you be able to stay there?
Stay there, no.
You can't.
But they are turning the Green Dragon pub into a visitor center.
They could make so much money if they just made it like, oh my God, I'm blanking. Under the hill, just made a bed in Hobbiton, and like you could pay to sleep there.
Where's my bedroom? Please, why, sir? Here's the jacuzzi. There we go. Let's get it going, Bobby. I'm sure people go, yes, we're going to Hobbiton for Christmas.
I turned 19 when we first went to Hobbiton. And I'm 30 now. I was talking to Pete when we were there on my last day. I said,
I'm almost
realize
30.
that I had my 19th birthday in Hobbiton. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ. I'm almost 30 years old. Jesus Christ.
I had my 19th birthday in Hobbiton. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Puts things into perspective.
Yeah. Not many people can say that. I had my
No big
birthday
deal.
party in Hobbiton.
Yeah.
I was circumcised at Disneyland.
No one could have known that it was going to take off and become a real place. Yeah.
Stop it.
It's like a real place.
It's a whole tourist industry based on that.
Good luck getting into New Zealand, asshole.
What's he going to say next time?
Look, it's him. It's Graham Norton. Come on, Graham, good luck on you.
Yeah. He's a Hobbit denier.
He doesn't believe in Hobbit.
Oh, that was fantastic. Ah. Robin Williams, R.I.P. That was fun. Alrighty, guys. More to come. Hope you're all doing well. If not, chin up. You'll be good soon. Don't worry. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.